The date was 13 November 1947. The place, the old Ahalyabai temple at Somnath, in the former state of Junagadh, now in modern-day Gujarat. India had won her independence only a few months back. The Nawab of Junagadh had fled to Pakistan barely a month ago, and the princely state had merged with India. In a public meeting, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the then Home Minister of India, pledged that the Somnath temple, which had been ravaged and pillaged 17 times by foreign invaders, would be rebuilt and restored to its original glory. The crowd went berserk and cries of jubilation hung in the air. But there was one obstacle that the devout had to contend with before the ancient temple could be rebuilt: Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. Under Nehru, the Congress government did not offer any financial support for the reconstruction of the temple. An official advisory committee was formed in 1949 to provide technical support to the project. The Somnath Temple Trust was established to collect money from the public. With the demise of Sardar Patel in 1950, the task of restoring the temple fell to K.M. Munshi, a cabinet minister in the Nehru government. As Munshi once wrote, "I was clear in my mind that the temple of Somnath was not just an ancient monument. It lived in the heart of the whole nation, and its reconstruction was a national pledge." However, Nehru had never liked the idea of restoring this ancient monument and had more than once criticized Munshi for working for its reconstruction. In the early months of 1951, just a few weeks before the temple inauguration, matters came to a head. At the end of a cabinet meeting, Nehru called Munshi and said, "I don't like you are trying to restore Somnath. It is Hindu revivalism." Nehru, with his Anglophile upbringing and elitist nature, had never completely understood India or Indian culture. Nehru had returned from Cambridge with notions of how an all-governing interventionist state can force an entire nation into socialism. According to Nehru, restoring an ancient monument, place of immense veneration which had been repeatedly destroyed by barbaric foreign rulers, was wrong. But that did not deter Munshi from his task. When the then President of India, Rajendra Prasad, was invited to inaugurate the temple, Nehru shot him a letter saying, "I do not like the idea of your associating yourself with the spectacular opening of the Somnath temple. This is not merely visiting a temple, which can certainly be done by you or anyone else, but rather participating in a significant function which unfortunately has a number of implications." By this, Nehru meant that Rajendra Prasad inaugurating a temple would be a challenge to the secular fabric of India. Rajendra Prasad promptly ignored Nehru's advice. So, on 11 May 1951, Rajendra Prasad, while presiding over the opening ceremony of the temple, gave a stirring speech. He said that the physical symbols of our civilization may be destroyed, but no arms, army, or king could destroy the bond that the people had with their culture and faith. Till that bond remained, the civilization would survive. He added that it was a creative urge for civilizational renewal, nurtured in the hearts of the people through centuries that had once led to the Pran Pratishtha of Somnath. Somnath was the symbol of the economic and spiritual prosperity of India. The journey to the restoration of Somnath had many twists and turns, but the destination had been reached. Thus, with the devotion of millions of people, the pledge of Patel, the untiring efforts by Munshi, and the presence of Rajendra Prasad, the majestic Somnath temple was restored. All this despite Nehru having done his best to dissuade everyone from restoring the ancient shrine. Many years later, reflecting on the Somnath incident, Munshi would pen a devastating critique of Nehruvian secularism. In secularism's name, anti-religious forces sponsored by secular humanism or communism condemns religious piety, particularly in the majority community. In its name, minorities are immune from such attention and have succeeded in getting their demands, however unreasonable, accepted. Nehru might be long gone now, but the mistaken ideals of secularism he propounded still remain in force to this day.